like a tree.
Rooted like a tree.
I am here.
Standing strong.
In my rightful place.
In my rightful place.
Solid like a rock.
Solid like a rock.
Rooted like a tree.
Rooted like a tree.
I am here.
Standing strong.
In my rightful place.
In my rightful place.
As we begin our time together this morning, we pause to honor the land on which we gather. For countless generations, this place has been home to the Western Abenaki people. We recognize their enduring relationship with this land, past, present, and future, and we acknowledge the legacy of displacement and resiliency that continues today. We understand that gathering here is both a privilege and a responsibility. May we honor the Abenaki people by committing ourselves to justice, stewardship, and care for each other and the earth. Good morning. I am Leah Greenberg. My pronouns are she and her, and I am your worship associate. And on behalf of the entire worship team, I extend an enthusiastic and loving welcome. Welcome to this community that affirms the worth and dignity of each person and is deeply committed to actively challenging systems of oppression. Since 1864, the Unitarian Church of Montpelier has been a sanctuary for those seeking spiritual sustenance, and we are so glad you are here with us today. And I'd like to extend an extra warm welcome to today's guest, Mohsen Mahdawi. Hello. I told Joan I wouldn't get too starstruck, but like many of you, I'm sure, I am deeply inspired by Mohsen's words and actions as an activist, as well as his personal journey from a childhood in a refugee camp in the West Bank to earning a PhD in Columbia and everything in between and since. And while many of us learned about him in April when he was detained and jailed by Immigration Customs Enforcement, it's his continued advocacy and bravery despite devastating loss and trauma that shines brightest. A few of us Solidarity singers were honored to share the stage with you at the No Kings rally in Burlington, and we are so grateful that you are here in our sanctuary today. And while I do take comfort in seeing familiar faces out here, it is a pleasure to have newcomers. So if you're a newcomer or a guest and it's your first or second time joining us and you're willing to do so, please rise or wave so that we can extend a more welcome, loving hi. Welcome. You are invited to visit us at the welcome table during coffee hour downstairs so we can get to know you a little bit better. And please know that we have hearing assist devices available in the rear of the church, and you can also listen to and watch the service in the fireplace room downstairs if you need to leave for any reason. And now we can all join in the welcoming by turning to our neighbors and sharing a few words of greeting. Thank you all. Thank you for filling the sanctuary with your warmth and love, and continue to do so if you wish after the services downstairs during coffee hour. And if you would like to speak to someone else on a one-on-one basis about anything that's on your mind or heart today, someone from our lake pastoral care ministry team is available today, and that's Dawn Evans. Thank you, Dawn. If you're craving some connection, she'll be here after services. And now let's all make sure our cell phones are silenced. Take a deep breath as we enter more deeply into our time of worship with the prelude.
As the world shifts beneath our feet, we seek steadiness. We seek the unwavering support of community, the principled guidance of wise teachings, the faithful turning of the seasons. We seek within ourselves and in one another a devotion to all that is true, all that is just, all that is beautiful. We gather here to re-ground ourselves and to reorient toward our heart's calling. Here we hold on to what is good, to what we believe, and to what we must do. With resolute and compassionate hearts, let us worship together. Please rise in body or spirit now for our opening hymn, One More Step, which is number 168 in the gray hymnal.
Let us now light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, I welcome Mohsen to light the chalice, and as he does, I invite you to light a chalice at home. And as we light this flame, it's an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. Now let us join our voices in saying these words of affirmation adapted by L. Griswold Williams. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant.
Good morning. Today in our spiritual exploration program for children and youth, we're having a Wonder and Explore Day. This is a day when children's natural wonder and enthusiasm for exploring the world are at the center of our program, and adults join them as co-explorers and guides on their spiritual journeys, bringing the gifts of our multi-generational community to life. Our children's chapel group, grades pre-K through grade 4, will be exploring this month's theme of integrity through our wondering question: how do we remember what matters most to us? Children will be able to explore this question through art, sacred sounds from multiple faiths, and open-ended materials for building and creating. Our middle school youth group will begin with a fun community-building activity. Then they will return to service to hear Mohsen Mahdawi and Reverend Joan speak before heading back to the bell tower room for brainstorming about service projects for the year ahead. And now, a few important details. When we sing everyone out, children in pre-K through grade 4 will exit through the front of the sanctuary, and the middle school youth group will exit through the back. If your child is not registered for spiritual exploration, please come with them to fill out the registration form, and then you are welcome to stay or return to service. Both groups will run until approximately 11:15, and Children's Chapel will be dismissed from the room downstairs, formerly known as the preschool room, between the vestry and the vestibule. And adults, please be sure to sign out your children before you leave today. Middle schoolers and their adults will reunite at coffee hour. And if this is your first time joining our spiritual exploration program today, we are so excited to have you here with us. And now I invite you all to hold our wonderful children and youth in your hearts as we sing them out as they go. I'd like to invite Marion Ludlow to share a brief announcement up here.
Hi, folks. Hang on a minute. Short person. I'd like to tell you a little bit about small group ministry. Okay. Small group ministry is a part of our adult spiritual exploration at UCM. And I've co-led a small group ministry group with Dan, our friend, for a couple of years now. And prior to that, I was a participant in many small group ministry groups over the years. And we have one that's going to be going. It's going to start on October 16th. And we have 3 folks signed up, but we'd like a slightly larger crew. So I wanted to explain a little bit about small group ministry, so I, of course, Googled it. That's what you do these days, right? And what I got was that it's a lay-led small group that focuses on building community and deepening relationships. And it offers the opportunity for deeper spiritual exploration and search for meaning. This is a little bit wordy, I know. But basically, for me, it's the opportunity to get to know folks at church on a way deeper level than I can at coffee hour, which I personally find a bit overwhelming at times, and I find small groups it's just more bonding and more intimate. And another thing I love about small group ministry is the reason why there's ministry in the title. So this is something that I also looked up, because I didn't really know what ministry exactly meant. And what I got was a really simple definition. Ministry is the process of or act of caring for another. Wow, who knew? I feel like there's a lot of ministry happening in these small groups. We minister to each other, and we also minister to the larger community because we agree on a small project that we do together as a group every semester, if you will. In the past, we've done gardening or cleanup at the church. We volunteered at the Vermont Food Bank, the Senior Center, the Montpelier Food Pantry. Way back when I was in the Burlington Church, we even went to Vins and cleaned the raptor cages. We've never gotten any buy-in for that in recent years, but that was memorable. So this is always a one-day volunteer effort that we agree on as a group. We make sure it's within everybody's ability to do. That's probably why the raptor cage thing fell off. I feel like volunteering together really strengthens the group because it gives it, it's like you're giving back to the larger community, and that's like very, kind of tangible way, I feel like, of ministering. So our small group ministry group for this fall will start on October 16th. We meet the first and the third Thursday. I think it's from, gosh, what time? I think 6:30. Thank you. Yeah, it's 6:30 to 8, and we're like prompt about it. We don't hold you over the 8 o'clock hour. I believe we will have a whatchamacallit, if you can't be there, that thing. There's a sign-up sheet in the vestry. But if you're interested and you want to know more, I'll be in coffee hour. So next week I think we'll also have the sign-up sheet, but I won't be there next week. So if you do want to chat about it, grab me. Thank you very much.
And next Sunday, we will welcome Reverend Small as our guest, Fred Small, as our guest preacher. Reverend Small will also be leading a workshop on spiritual support for climate engagement. The purpose of this heart-centered experience is not to examine climate policy options or activist strategies, important as these are, but to reflect upon our emotional and spiritual response to change and challenge. This interactive workshop is appropriate for older children, teens, and adults. We hope you'll attend. You can register using the link in the e-news. And I'm excited about the annual Fall Rummage Sale, which will take place on October 17th and 18th. Donations of gently used, clean, warm clothes and winter items, as well as used household items, will be accepted starting next Sunday, the 12th. And always, we invite you to check the e-news for more information, which comes out every Friday. And now it's our opportunity to participate in the spiritual act of giving for those who are able. Our gifts freely given allow us to practice universal Unitarianism inside and beyond our congregation. And each month through our UCM Community Pouch program, we share part of our collection with an important church fund or a community organization aligned with our values. And this month, we can put our care for the land and water into action by supporting Friends of the Winooski River, a nonprofit restoring and protecting the Winooski and its watershed through community stewardship and hands-on conservation. Half our calf offerings cash offerings, ooh, that's fun, cash offerings will go to our pouch recipient, and the other half will directly support the ministry and mission of this congregation. So if you haven't already, I believe you have, please find the offering pouches on the side aisles and pass them towards the center aisle. We're so grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms. And your offering will now be gratefully received.
In every house I will enter for good. In every field I will do only good. By every river I will turn my hand toward good. This is my promise. I will keep.
Thank you, choir, for stirring our hearts so deeply. And thank you to all of you for your financial gifts so generously offered this morning. They are received with deep gratitude for the difference that they allow us to make for one another in this community and beyond. Thank you. In our community of love and belonging, we hold one another with care and love in times of joy and in times of sorrow. And in that spirit, we share in a ritual of lighting candles of joy and concern twice a month. During this candle lighting time, you may wish to come forward and to share a special joy or a milestone so that we can celebrate with you, perhaps in addition to your family, a special birthday, anything that you have found worthy of celebration. You may also wish to share a personal concern, a challenge, or a loss that calls for our love and support and prayers as a spiritual community. In just a moment, you are invited to come forward to share your name and to briefly share in a sentence or two the joy or concern that is on your heart before lighting a candle. You may also come forward and light a candle in silence if you wish. And as a reminder, the service is being live streamed, so anything you share here in the room will also be shared with our live stream viewers. And this portion of the service will be removed from the video archive. If you are joining worship on the live stream, you're welcome to share your joys and concerns in the chat. And as we begin this time of sharing, let us acknowledge the grief, the anxiety that is present in this time of political and social turmoil in our country as we grapple with political violence and policies that are harming our communities and the planet. We light a candle of sadness and anger with prayers for peace and courage. And now, any of you who are moved to light a candle and share a personal joy or sorrow, you're invited to come forward and form a line on the left-hand side of the sanctuary. Let us continue in this time of meditation and prayer, allowing yourself this quiet moment, allowing your body to just settle right where it is. And noticing the intentions and prayers of your heart, that which has been spoken aloud, and also what you are holding with gentle silence in your heart. Holding all of these intentions for others and for yourself with compassion. The Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish has written, "I will slog over this endless road to its end. Until my heart stops, I will slog over this endless, endless road, with nothing to lose but the dust, what has died in me, and a row of palms pointing toward what vanishes. I say I will slog over this endless road to its end and my own." May we know that sometimes the road is treacherous. Sometimes the road seems endless, and yet we are carried forward, one breath, one step at a time, to try and try again. And let us join now in a time of quiet meditation together. This is the poem Choice by Lynn Unger. There isn't a right answer. There just isn't. The game show where the bells ring and the points go up and the confetti falls because you got the answer is a lie. The preacher who would assure you of how to attain salvation is making it all up. The doctor who knows just how to fix what ails you will be sure of something else tomorrow. Every choice will wound someone, heal someone, build a wall, and open a conversation. Things will always happen that you can't foresee, but you have to choose. It's all we have, that little rudder that we employ in the midst of all the eddies and rapids, the current that pulls us inexorably toward the sea. The fact that you are swept along by the river is no excuse. Watch where you are going. Lean in toward what you love. When in doubt, tell the truth. I am so pleased to have Mohsen Mahdawi here with us this morning. Many of those present here are familiar with the most recent chapter of your story and life here in Vermont, but likely have not had the chance to meet you or hear you directly. So I'm so grateful that you are here and willing to share in a dialogue with me in lieu of the traditional sermon, which is something we have done only once before. And I will say now that the time that we have for this dialogue will certainly feel all too brief. Mohsen will be present in the vestry during coffee hour if you'd like a chance to speak with him directly. So at this time, I'll invite Mohsen to join me up on the chancel, and won't you please once again give him a warm welcome. So I'm going to make a little joke and say that I listen to a lot of Krista Tippett on Being, but I won't even pretend to try to emulate anything she does, but I'm so glad. So Mohsen, and for the whole congregation, this whole church year, our... Closer? Okay, we're going to try this out. This whole church year, our overarching theme is meeting the moment. And there are many ways to describe this moment that we're in: unprecedented, perilous, a reckoning, an awakening. And each month of the church year, we consider how we are meeting the moment with one particular quality or value. And this month of October, we are exploring how we are meeting the moment with integrity. So Mohsen, you have found yourself in the crossroads of an exceedingly fraught and complex moment for Palestinian-Israeli relations, interfaith organizing, and resistance to authoritarianism in the United States. As someone who is committed to peace, how does the value of integrity guide you in this moment?
Thank you, Reverend Joan, and please allow me to extend also a gratitude to every one of you here for the warm welcoming. The UU has been a home for me for the past 11 years, the first place where I truly experienced love in the US. So it's such a joy to be here. To answer your question, I would start with probably the metaphysical understanding of what is integrity. If we think of integrity, the word itself comes from the Latin word integer, which means whole. So if we refer to certain numbers, we say integers, that they are not fractured, a whole number. And integrity comes from integer, which is also related to integration and related to another sense of belonging or making a whole. So when we think of integrity on a spiritual level, there is an integrity within the self, and there is an integrity with the universe that's outside of us. So there is the inner verse that we have within us, and the universe that our inner verse is part of. And when we think about our inner verse, there is the belief, there is the words, and there is the actions. And those have to be integrated with each other to have integrity, that our beliefs and our words and our actions are in line with each other. And when we think of the universe, after we have that coherence of integrity, that means our beliefs are aligned to our actions and to our words. When we think of the universe, the integrity itself, when we think of humans interconnected with each other, my integrity would actually compel me to think of myself in relation to you and you in relation to me. And the idea of justice, which is a very big, heavy word that many of us are struggling with nowadays, it's related to acknowledging the equality of me having integrity and you having integrity and everyone having integrity at the same time. And our integrity as humans is not separate from the integrity that we have with the universe, with the trees, with the stones, with the rivers, with the sky, with the planet Earth, with the sun, with the moon, and everything that exists. So it starts from a very tight, narrow place, and you expand it. Now, the time that we live in, with the genocide that's ongoing and shaking every atom of our being, when we see it, when we feel it, when we watch it, that is putting the word integrity and our commitment to it really at a big test, because that is not integrity. When we think of supremacy, for example, supremacy is the opposition of integrity. And when we think of the inequality that we see, that certain group has rights to believe, to speak, and to take action, and others don't have it, that is not an integrity. And what happened with me and with other students and what's happening with other immigrants is because the government itself does not see us as worthy of the same rights that they want to give to certain people. And that is not much different than what's happening to the Palestinian people. The mere fact that we are saying stop the killing, give Palestinians the level of safety and freedom, and treat them as equal beings to Israelis, where everyone lives in safety and freedom, is a threat to the DNA of this government. And this is, on a spiritual level, is a violation of the word integrity, what it means to have integrity. Today, for example, one of the songs that we sang, One More Step. And if you think of it, it starts from one more step until everyone takes one more step. That's integrity. One more word, one more song. And this is how we relate to each other. And similarly, with what we saw with the candles, the joys and sorrows. I felt the joy of the great-grandson, and I felt the sorrow of the woman who lost her husband. This is integrity, to be able to feel each other and to be connected with each other. And when we think of the Palestinians and Israelis, the integrity comes from the place where we wish to see children, regardless of their background, Israelis or Palestinians, living an equal opportunity of safety and being free of pain, trauma, and fear. And I think this is something that every human being, regardless of their way of thinking, would agree on. And the question, how can we relate to each other rather than distance us from each other and create this illusion of myself and the other?
Thank you. Thank you. I've heard you and seen you described as a bridge builder, and I've heard you speak a couple of times kind of along those lines. Could you say more about what that means to you, bridge building, especially in this moment and as it relates to integrity?
Again, this is related to the fundamental understanding that I am not separate and I am not different in my being and existence from those who consider themselves the others. Even the person who is causing me an oppression is part of me, and I am part of them. And when we think of it in this dimension, we have no choice but having this level of dialogue and trying to open our hearts and our minds and to communicate to the other who is seeing us of less important than themselves, that actually my pain is their pain, and my freedom is their freedom, and my sorrow is their sorrow, and my joy is their joy as well. And that takes a great level of compassion and empathy. And it starts by trying to understand the needs of the other, the trauma of the other. And this is what I've done with Israeli communities. Who are, generally speaking, especially around Columbia University, there is a huge division between Palestinians and Israelis. And the reason is each unable to see the other's pain, and there is intergenerational trauma that is lingering. So how can we build bridges is something that is that requires a level of compassion and empathy, ability to listen and to share from an open-hearted place. Because a lot of the conversations that are happening in the public sphere is based on debate, ideas, thoughts. And you can debate ideas and thoughts, to infinity. But what really matters is where the heart is. The moment the heart is shifted, then the thoughts and the ideas would be aligned with it. And this is the work that I've been trying to do, even with those who don't see me as an equal to them. And I tell them, I want to open my heart. I want to share with you the story of the inner child that I am carrying with me. The story of little Mohsen, who saw his best friend getting shot and killed in front of his eyes, who saw his uncle being assassinated and laying down in blood in front of his eyes. The little Mohsen who has been traumatized from the sounds of explosions and bullets and shooting. The little Mohsen who suffered in a refugee camp and is still seeing himself in the images of other children who are living in a refugee camp, and who can't see and feel that, doubting a personal experience. It's very difficult. And I've seen many, many people who come with a level of prejudice and a level of blindness and a level of supremacy after time unfolds and the slow interactions, gentle interactions over time, they have shifted positions. And I can share with you that last Tuesday there was a very serious hearing because the government is trying to imprison me and appealing the bail decision. And when I came out of the court, there was so much love in the court, many supporters and outside. But I was like shocked to see a number of Israelis who are on the other side, standing outside the court in my support. This is what integrity is. And this is the power of compassion and empathy. And this is the power of believing in the goodness of the human being. Because this is the debate that existed between different spiritualities and religion. Is the human nature a good nature, or it's inherently bad, therefore it has to be controlled? And I believe that the human nature is a good nature. We have no choice but believing that and acting based on that.
I'm really struck by what you just said, that last part, that we have no choice but to believe that. And I know that's something I struggle with often because I encounter evidence to the contrary, right? Things that happen in our world that we witness that would lean me towards believing perhaps something else. And I know I've heard that from others in the congregation. And I wonder just how there's this balancing act, almost like walking a tightrope of wanting to really stand firm in one's moral convictions while also keeping one's heart open to be able to reach the other. And I'm wondering just how you find that balance in staying rooted in those convictions while also keeping your heart open.
It's not easy, it's a practice.
Yeah.
And
Tell us, what's your practice?
It is a practice. It's not easy, but we can learn from the mothers. So mothers, they have a great ability of compassion and empathy while holding the scale of justice firm within the house. For example, if a child does something wrong, a mother who has that ability of compassion and empathy can say firmly that this is not right, this is wrong, and I will not allow you to do that. A mother who doesn't have the balance sometimes would outlash and yell and try to use different mechanisms. But a loving mother can teach us so much about how to deal with each other as humans, because if we treat each other with compassion and empathy, we can hold the scale of justice so firmly and still be kind and thoughtful. And this is the teaching that we saw of Gandhi, for example. The whole idea of the non-violence, which Gandhi has communicated and taught us, it is predicated on the idea that justice will be achieved by the mere reality that you will be sharing your truth. And that is, the truth has its own forest to achieve justice. So what does that mean in practice? It means that when we see injustice, we call it out. We stand out against it, against injustice. We protest. We share information with each other and we say no. But while we do all of this, we're doing it out of a place of love and compassion and empathy, not out of hate or fear or exclusion. And this is the key.
Just double check. How do you personally stay connected to that place of love and compassion and empathy?
There is a day-to-day practice. So in the morning, when I wake up, I scan my body through meditation. And usually the manifestation so the opposite of love is fear. It's not hate. The yin and yang in my understanding of emotions, that all emotions come from a spectrum, but the root of emotions, positive is love and negative is fear. And that's why most spiritualities and religions, when they spoke about God, what is God? God is love. And love is expansive. It's not only for myself or my community, it's for humanity and for this universe. So what I do early in the morning when I wake up, I realize that when I have fear in my body, I would feel tension developing. And generally speaking, it develops from my core around my belly button. And what I do is just I breathe in and I breathe out. Breathe in love, breathe out love until my body is relaxed. So this is the first thing, because if my body is triggered, I am not feeling, I'm not feeling comfortable, and I am not in a space of love, generally speaking. It takes a high level of thinking and concentration to act out of love if your body is triggered and is at tension. So it starts from within, really. To be able to manifest love and peace, you have to start it from within you and bring it to your circle, to your family, and to your neighbors, and to your colleagues, and to your town, and to the world. And this is a very core practice. The other one is we have to be reassured in our hearts, because the moment we have doubt, we start feeling level of insecurities and push things in ways that are not aligned with the idea of compassion. So we have to be reassured in our hearts that justice is inevitable, that the power of love will triumph. And that gives us some internal tranquility, which is very important. And you could see it when you act or when you interact with somebody who is acting from a place of anger. You are less receptive to what they are trying to tell you, even if they are 100% right about what they're saying. But when you interact with somebody who is open-hearted and kind and communicating to you the truth, the reception would be different. And this is the golden rule. How we would like to be treated, we should be treating each other. And yes, sometimes we have to get loud, because when our hearts are far, others are unable to hear us. But really, the key of it is to find a way to bring our hearts closer. And this applies on Republicans and Democrats in this country, on white and black, on Palestinians and Israelis, on all human beings.
Yeah, thank you. And for describing your practice as well. I remember hearing about your time at the Northeast Correctional Facilities in St. Albans, the 16 days that you spent there back in April, and that one of your practices was just this, right? This breathing and am I right that Spirit of Life was actually a song that you kind of meditated upon during that time?
That's correct, yeah. Spirit of Life is one of the songs that roots me in my practice. And when I was in the cell, which is 7 by 12, in the middle of the night, everybody is asleep, all of the inmates are asleep, and I am singing Spirit of Life.
I'm sure you helped them also to find that
Somebody
peace.
came to me and he said, somebody is crazy and he's singing in the middle of the night, but it's a good song.
One final question for you. How can our congregation and really any of us who are here in this community join you and support you in protecting democratic principles in our country and in seeking a future of liberation and justice for Palestinian and Israeli people? How would you guide us in taking action?
I would say the first part is we have to be rooted in love. The second one, we have to be rooted in principles. And very few communities really root themselves in the principles of human rights and international law. I see it as a first step to stop this bleeding that's ongoing, the deep harm that was done, and in order to transition into justice. So rooting ourselves and teaching and talking about and referring to human rights and international law in parallel to democracy and the Constitution are a way to support the initiatives, because this becomes a culture and the philosophy of law. What gives law the power that it would have, it's the number of people who refer to it as such. And we would want to root ourselves in human rights, international law, and the principles of the Constitution in this country. And the last two parts, I would say, prayers are powerful, because a prayer is both an idea and a feeling. And the more you hold people in your prayers and you ask for healing and for repair, it would be helpful. It would motivate you to do something. So just continuing this prayer. And the last part is sharing the truth and creating a network of people. What we saw in the civil rights movement, for example, is that people such as, in your position and spiritual leaders started to get connected across the country, and they have moved and impacted others by first staying rooted in love and compassion and asking for equality for all, and second, by mobilizing people in order to create that awareness. And I wish and I would love to see more of interconnectedness between spiritual leaders and communities in order to bring this change. Because really, what is at stake at this moment is not only the Palestinian people and the children who are dying. What is at stake is our humanity. Democracy is at stake in this country, and humanity is at stake on the international level. And this country and what you do is a key to it.
Thank you. As we bring our time to a close, Mohsen, I know you're in Montpelier today because of a film series happening at the Savoy. Would you like to say a word about what that is and what's happening this afternoon?
Thank you for the invitation too. There is a series of films that will be streamed here in Montpelier, and JVP, which is Jewish Voice for Peace, that has been very powerful forests and voices for justice and for peace, are streaming those films. Today the film will be, it's called The Palestine Exception, which means most people who are very liberal and outspoken, they are great until it comes to Palestine, and then it becomes an exception. So if you're free and you would like to join us, it would be an honor to see you there.
What time is that film?
It's going to be streamed at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
And there will be a conversation, a dialogue between myself and Rabbi Dov Taylor from Woodstock after the film.
Great, thank you. Well, Mohsen, again, thank you so very much for being with us this morning. I encourage all of you to go check out that film this afternoon and the film series. Mohsen, please know that you are welcome back here at any time. Our hearts are with you in the work ahead. And I know I can say for my part, and hopefully on behalf of the congregation, that we will do what we can to continue to keep you free and to protect the freedom of all those who are speaking out with courage. Thank you again for being with us. I'll stay arisen and join in our closing hymn. This is my song, Gray Hymnal.
This is my song, oh
as we draw our service to a close, we extinguish the chalice and carry within each of us its healing flame, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and week ahead. And as we do so, let us join in saying our mission statement together. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home.
We close with these words by Nancy Wood. Hold on to what is good, even if it is a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it is a tree which stands by itself. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Go in peace and return again in love. And we conclude our service with the postlude.